Now at 5, frustration grows as Carthage residents deal with frequent power outages. But why are they happening, and is there a fix in sight? Plus, the Kansas tax credit that's helped build thousands of affordable homes could soon be eliminated. What that means for the community. And
President Trump intensifies his tariff threats. I'm Erica Brown with reaction from trade partners and investors, as well as the latest here on Capitol Hill to avert a partial government shutdown.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Another big power outage in Carthage today leaves thousands of customers in the dark. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. At one point today, more than 7,300 of the Carthage Water and Electric plant's 8,200 customers had lost power. It has since been restored. But it's the latest in a series of outages lately, causing growing frustration throughout the community. Carthage Water and Electric officials say the issue is beyond their control.
What happened today was there was a failure of a piece of equipment in the substation on the south end of Carthage. The unique part about that is that is not our substation. It is the substation of the Department of Energy. It's a federal substation for SPA, Southwest Power Administration. And we have no jurisdiction or ability to go in and make any repairs or fix anything.
We did reach out to the Southwest Power Administration. They said they currently have temporary fixtures in place and are working hard to fix this situation permanently. A ribbon cutting this afternoon marks the grand opening of a new baseball stadium for Carthage High School. The official name, McCune Brooks Regional Hospital Trust Baseball Stadium. It's a culmination of 2 years of fundraising and nearly a year of construction. Supporters say it's a state-of-the-art facility.
So the stadium itself, the bleachers should fit around 250 to 300 people. We have some temporary bleachers set up, and then there's also some access for people to bring lawn chairs and do different things. So we're excited to see how many people it can fit because our community has just given us so much support.
This new stadium is on Airport Drive behind Carthage High School. The Carthage Tigers baseball team had previously played at the Carl Luton Stadium in Carthage's Municipal Park, but the concrete on that stadium was deteriorating from age. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for our first look at the weather.
Well, of course, another beautiful day for us today, even warmer than what we saw yesterday. Most of us near 80, if not into the lower 80s. We're sitting at 81 in Joplin, 79 in Pittsburgh, very windy as well. Those southerly winds kicking in, really sustained 20 upwards to about 30 miles per hour. But we've been getting gusts higher than that, 30, 35, pushing 40 at times. Thankfully, the winds are going to calm down a little bit over the next couple days. But look at these temperatures, upper 70s to lower 80s across the region. Through the evening, we slide back through the 70s, 60s. Eventually into the 50s, pretty much clear skies. We'll get a few clouds in here later on tonight. We are tracking this weak little system that will slide just to our south as we go into Wednesday. So we're going to be talking about that here in just a bit.
See you soon. A Kansas tax credit that aims to build affordable homes in Kansas could be eliminated. The bill to eliminate that credit, proposed by Representative Sean Tarwater, says the program is just too costly for the state. Thousands of homes across Kansas have been built through that tax credit. There are 431 affordable housing units in Pittsburgh that came through it, in fact. The director of housing for the city of Pittsburgh says Pittsburgh has a shortage of housing and eliminating the tax credit could make it worse.
Being, a citizen of this community and seeing the need and driving around and feeling it in our community, to lose this would be really detrimental.
Kansas House has approved that bill. It's now in the Senate. There's been a breakthrough in the high-stakes talks between U.S. and Ukrainian officials in Saudi Arabia aimed at charting a path toward ending the war with Russia. Ukraine has agreed to a proposal to implement a 30-day interim ceasefire. Still requires Russia's agreement as well. More immediately, the U.S. has agreed to immediately lift the pause on intelligence sharing and the delivery of military aid to Ukraine. You're going to hear more on this story on tonight's CBS Evening News. The U.S. and Canada appear to be dialing back some of the threats of tariffs after a phone call between Ontario, Canada's premier, and the Trump administration. This comes as Republicans are trying to shore up support amongst their own ranks in order to avoid a partial government shutdown. Erica Brown has more details from Capitol Hill.
President Trump is raising tariffs on Canada after the province of Ontario placed a retaliatory tax on electricity exports to the U.S. Trump says he has directed the Treasury Department to add an additional 25% tariff, making it a 50% tariff on all steel and aluminum coming into the United States from Canada starting tomorrow.
All he's asking for at the end of the day are fair and balanced trade practices, and unfortunately, Canada has not been treating us very fairly at all over the past several decades.
Tuesday afternoon, Ontario's Premier Doug Ford announced that after talking with U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, he will remove the 25% surcharge on electricity exports impacting Michigan, Minnesota, and New York.
We have both agreed, let cooler heads prevail. We need to sit down and move this forward.
Markets tumbled for the second day in a row as nervous investors raised concerns about a trade war and the economic impact of a looming partial government shutdown.
This is not a game. The government shuts down on March 14th. We have to get it done.
The House is set to vote on a stopgap spending bill to fund the government through September. With a razor-thin majority, Republicans need nearly all members to vote yes. Vice President J.D. Vance met with GOP lawmakers this morning.
Vice President Vance had a great message conveying, how important getting the CR passed is to President Trump and allowing him to continue the work he's done.
And President Trump has been calling holdouts to rally support for the bill and threatening to back primary challengers to any Republicans voting no. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Now, if the bill does pass in the House, it still faces an uphill challenge in the Senate, where it has to surpass the 60-vote threshold to avoid a filibuster. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul announced today he opposes the continuing resolution because he says it doesn't cut spending enough. It's still ahead 5 years later.
Doctors and COVID-19 survivors mark 5 years since the start of the pandemic. I'm Bradley Blackburn with the reunion of a man and a doctor who helped save his life.
And millions of Americans are turning to loans just to afford medical care. How much are they borrowing and who's feeling the burden the most? Those stories next in Health Watch. In today's Health Watch, today marks 5 years since the World Health Organization declared the COVID-19 pandemic. It was the beginning of a wave of illness that took millions of lives worldwide. Bradley Blackburn takes us back with the story of a patient who survived in New York.
In March 2020, when the world locked down, Sal Mazzara remembers the moment he felt symptoms.
Then I had the fever, the cough was persistent, then sweats.
The father of two from New York already had a lung condition, so when he struggled to breathe, his wife Josephine drove him to Mount Sinai Hospital.
I could not believe what was going on, that I was just dropping my husband off at the hospital and wasn't sure if we were going to see him again.
This was an epicenter right here.
Yeah, it was.
Critical care doctor Sanam Ahmed remembers when the hospital filled up and tents were set up in Central Park. The city used refrigerated trucks to hold the bodies. While her own 4 children were in lockdown at home, she treated countless patients on the brink of death.
I've never seen so much tragedy in a short period of time.
Sal spent weeks on a ventilator. He needed a tracheotomy and suffered a cardiac arrest. His family couldn't be by his side.
We're probably going to take that trach out.
Dr. Ahmed was.
Sal. Hi. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah?
So happy.
If you had a cardiac arrest, it was extremely unlikely that you would survive, and Sal did.
After 45 days, Sal left Mount Sinai to go home.
5 years.
Last week, for the first time since 2020.
Hi, Sal. It's so good to see you.
Right, nice
you
to
look
see you.
so good.
Yes, thank you.
Doctor
thank you.
and patient met again.
Oh, never forgot you, and I thank you for everything every day.
A family that will never stop saying thank you.
My hero, right here.
Thank you.
And reminding others what it took to survive.
I hope that people remember how everyone supported each other.
Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Pew Research Center poll finds about 6 in 10 Americans say the public health system would do a very or somewhat good job dealing with a future health emergency. Americans are borrowing billions of dollars to cover their medical expenses. A recent Gallup poll has found last year 31 million Americans borrowed a total of $74 billion to cover medical bills, More than half of the respondents say they've borrowed at least $500 to pay for their health care. Survey found people under the age of 50 tend to borrow more to cover medical expenses than older Americans. Only 9% of Americans 50 to 64 years old and just 2% of people 65 and older said they had to borrow money to cover their health care costs. Poll also found 3 out of 5 Americans under the age of 65 say they are somewhat or very concerned about potential medical debt. We're learning more about how school disruptions during the pandemic affected children. A study published in JAMA showed there was a drop in language, cognitive development, and general knowledge among kids during the pandemic, and it's believed lack of play and in-person interaction also played a role. The study's authors point out, however, that language and cognitive development scores were dropping even before the pandemic. That is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, new research reveals the countries with the most polluted air. Where does our region rank among them?
Plus, our air is going to stay fairly warm over the next few days. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, a beautiful March day for us today. We had a pretty good weekend. Yesterday was good. And then warming up over the past couple days. Plenty of clear skies. Great shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Clear skies sticking around as we go through the evening hours, and then we'll start to get some clouds in here a little bit later on tonight, mainly after midnight, but overall looking pretty good. It is windy. We have those southerly winds, southwesterly winds kicking in, fairly strong, sustained at about 20 to 30, and our gusts have been higher than that at times over the past couple hours. They've been 30, upwards of 40 miles per hour. These will start to come down a little bit as we go into the overnight hours tonight. So by Wednesday, breezy, but not windy. Thursday, kind of breezy, southerly winds 10 to 20, but again, not extremely windy. Friday is going to be a different story. We have a strong storm system which is going to be rotating in. So we could have gusts 50 upwards to 60 miles per hour. Very similar to what we had last week on Monday and Tuesday. Very strong winds continue. Here's Friday evening, and it stays windy even into Saturday, but they will start to come down just a little bit. Look at these temperatures way up there. Most of us upper 70s to lower 80s at this point in time. Through the evening, if you want to get outside, of course, evening daylight hours have expanded so it doesn't get dark, like pitch dark, till after 8, which is great. 70s into the 60s, and we aren't alone. Everybody fairly warm. Cooler in the northern parts of the lower 48, but look at the 70s and 80s right across the Central Plains. Clear skies sticking around this evening. We'll get a few clouds in here later on tonight. We're watching our next little wave. It's a weak wave, southern parts of California. It's going to skirt mainly just south of the region as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. So let's take a look at it. Here it comes, weak little system. Some thunderstorms mainly to our south. It pushes by, and then here comes the wind maker, the stronger storm system moving in on Friday. It's kind of tilted back toward the north and to the west. Severe weather mainly to our east, so we're mainly going to deal with the wind. We cool down a bit for the weekend. Another stronger storm system rolls out by the middle of next week. So severe weather threat with the weak wave tomorrow just to our south. A low threat for severe weather. And then as we go into Friday, I think any severe weather is mainly going to be Springfield east. We'll watch this with the greater threat kind of into southeastern parts of Missouri. All right, let's go through time for us tonight. Temperatures, they don't drop off too much. We back down kind of lower 40s. Breezy tomorrow. We'll get some clouds in here in the afternoon. Random shower in our southern counties, upper 70s to near 80. See a few little showers popping up just south of us. I think most of us will stay dry, and then this storm system will rotate out of here. And then once we get into Thursday afternoon, another great day. High temps, upper 70s to near 80 degrees. So it looks pretty good. Here's your day planner tomorrow. 55 to start, 70 by noon, 76 as we get into the afternoon hours. We'll go for a high of 79 Thursday again, 77 on Friday. So temperatures stay great over the next few days.
Combine that with this extra hour of evening daylight. It's a big
nice
mood booster.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Doug. A new report reveals most of the world's air is dangerously dirty, with just 17% of cities meeting air pollution guidelines set by the World Health Organization. Researchers at IQ Air in Switzerland analyzed data from 40,000 air quality monitoring stations all around the world last year. They found the dirtiest air in Pakistan, India, Chad, Congo, and Bangladesh. Coming up, Elon Musk's start into politics is stirring controversy. Could his polarizing moves put Tesla's future at risk? Topping today's Consumer Watch, ex-CEO Elon Musk says a massive cyber attack is to blame for yesterday's outage. The social media platform formerly known as Twitter was down for thousands of users. In a TV interview, Musk claimed the attack came from an IP address in Ukraine, though cyber experts point out that this does not mean that the hack originated from that country. Major backlash against Tesla over Musk's role in the Trump administration and his statements in support of far-right politics. Shares have dropped more than 47% since President Trump's inauguration. There's also been a spike in vandalism against Tesla vehicles and dealerships. Adam Yamaguchi has that story.
Since the world's richest man has taken on a different role.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy.
Slashing the federal workforce. Elon Musk's jump into politics is now drawing backlash, with Tesla takedown protests across the country. Tesla owners have become targets too.
It was right here.
Like Dr. Kumait Jaruz, who found a profane sticker on his Cybertruck.
3 guys came out of the car and just pointed the middle finger and started screaming at me.
CBS News has identified at least 7 cases of vandalism involving Tesla dealerships, charging stations, and vehicles graffitied with swastikas and Nazi references. Now, some Tesla owners, like Cheryl Crow, are waving goodbye to their cars, while others are considering trading in.
So, you gonna miss the car? It's a great car.
I will miss the car. I will miss the car.
But your principles are...
I think for now, principles have to take priority.
Babak Shokrian has owned his Tesla since 2014.
Yeah, I was a big believer. I felt like this is somebody who cares, and a company that's doing, cool things. And just within an election cycle, it all kind of turned on its head.
Technology research analyst Dan Ives.
Musk has been here before. If Musk continues to dive into the deep end of the pool with Doge and Trump, and doesn't start really showing more and more focus with Tesla, this brand issue could become more pervasive.
Consumer surveys since 2019 show while Democrats are down on Tesla because of Musk, Republicans now favor buying one more than ever.
But you say that you might come back to a Tesla at some point.
I might come back to a Tesla at some point. It's not impossible.
Adam Yamaguchi, CBS News, Los Angeles.
A final check of the forecast is ahead, but first, today's closing numbers from Wall Street.
Closed captioning is brought to you by AutoInjury.com and the law offices of Aaron Sachs and Associates, committed to community service.
This St. Patrick's Day, you're in luck when shopping at Pittsburgh Interiors. As the only Flex Steel gallery dealer in the 4-state area, we have the widest range of Flex Steel product around, and it's all on sale. We're stocked with the top-selling recliners, sofa groups, and sectionals. For over 25 years, our family has been serving local communities, and we know what makes furniture great. Flex Steel is built to last. Save big this March at Pittsburgh Interiors for the best deals on new living room sets. Family owned and operated since 1999.
Quapaw Casino's Hot Seat Cash giveaways are paying cash every single day. Join us Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday from 6 to 10 p.m., and Sundays from 1 to 5 p.m. with cash drawings every 15 minutes. And don't miss Forever Young, Wednesdays from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. for cash drawings every 10 minutes. Play today, win today with Quapaw Casino's Hot Seat Cash giveaways every single day at Quapaw Casino, where there's always plenty of cash to win. Quapaw Casino, Miami, Oklahoma.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rob Herron, and we are proud to announce that we are one of the area's first Invisalign providers to offer virtual care to our patients. Virtual care greatly reduces the need for office visits, allowing you to not miss work or school. We are able to constantly monitor your treatment through the My Invisalign app. For more information on Invisalign virtual care, call us to set up your complimentary Invisalign consultation. Come and see there is a difference.
Heron Regional Dental Center, your home for a beautiful smile.
Get an 11% rebate on everything you need at Menards. Schultz grass seed is perfect for seeding new lawns or overseeding existing lawns. A 3-pound bag covers up to 2,000 square feet. Now only $8.99 each after rebate. Shop the largest in-stock selection of garage doors or design your own using our free do-it-yourself design program in-store or on Menards.com. This 9x7 garage door is only $399.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
If you are looking for quality trailers, large selection, and great prices, come see Sandcrest Trailer Sales. We have over 600 trailers in stock and 3 locations in Missouri. Visit sandcrestsales.com to see all of our inventory online.
It's Food for Less History, a store-wide truckload event. Deep discounts throughout most stores. Wednesday, March 12th through Tuesday, March 18th. All day, every day. Don't miss it.
Four State Heroes is brought to you in part by your Midwest Ford dealers.
We take this time now to honor a local veteran. Specialist Steve Hale served in the U.S. Army from 1971 to 1973 during the Vietnam War. The Columbus, Kansas native received the Certificate of Merit for going above and beyond the call of duty from President Nixon. We are proud to salute Steve Hale, a four-state hero.
Up next on the CBS Evening News, we go to a government lab like no other. What a fire lab is learning that could prevent catastrophe. Then on KOAM News at 6, Fort Scott officials officially join the Mid-America Baseball League for the 2026 season. Plus, a Carthage man enters a plea in the murder of his wife. And the latest on a proposed facility that would use chicken waste to produce a methane-based gas in northeast Oklahoma. Possibility is drawing concerns from residents and environmental groups alike. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. In the meantime, I hope you get a chance to get outside and enjoy this beautiful weather. Boy, it feels like spring, Doug.
Yeah, it definitely does. And spring officially is right around the corner. But again, near 80 degrees once again on Wednesday into Thursday. Now, the winds are going to return on Friday, kind of like what we had early last week with those gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour. And then we cool down a bit, but the weekend overall still looking pretty good.
Yeah, we will take that for sure for this time of year. Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.